Hello YouTube, my name's Sean Connors and welcome back to the Outsiders channel. Today I'm going to be referring to some notes that I've made in my time away from doing videos. And this particular video is a DMing video. Well, actually, saying that, it's a tool that can be used by DMs and players. It's a tool I've developed while being offline. It's one that I've heavily playtested and used myself, and it's also a tool that I've shared with a few other GMs that I really like and trust, and their feedback's been fantastic at shaping it to the point where it is now, where it's available for people who want it. Now, if you want this, when you've heard the video, if you like what you see, just email me. I'll send you a free copy, no problem for personal use, no issues whatsoever. Now, if you do want to use this in your blogs or other videos that you want to do as a follow-up to this, you're more than welcome, but at least put a footnote at the bottom of it that, you know, if you want to refer to the original video I saw this on, here it is, it's in the Outsiders 68 channel. That would be really appreciated if you decide that you want to have a think about this and use it or talk about it in any way. That'd be great. Anyway, the tool is all about tracking your progress. Now, as a player and a GM, this is invaluable for a completely different reason than you might first think. Now, as a GM, what I've worked out, and as a player it's the same, there are 4 key building blocks to being a good GM and a good player. Great GM, great player. There's 4 key building blocks, and those 4 key building blocks are skills, knowledge, confidence and motivation. They're the cornerstones of what you do as a GM and you do as a player. And very simply, I've rated it from 1 to 10. It's a very simple thing, got a very simple follow-up as well, which we'll talk about in a minute. But it's incredibly useful because it's very easy to take things for granted. You know, if you've been an experienced GM and you've run games for, 20 odd years, you think by picking a game up that your skills, your knowledge, etc. are going to be of a very serviceable level. It's not always the case. You know, games are constantly evolving and changing, and you may find that your skill set isn't there to run them anymore. So if when you're being honest, this is a very useful tool because you can actually measure yourself in every system and over time. So it's got multiple ways it can be used. And as for a player, you can see players' development, see how they're coming along in a particular game, particular campaign. It's a very easy thing to use. So I think you'll see a lot of benefit. I'll give you an example of it. We take motivation. 1 to 3, 1 being the lowest, obviously, 10 is being the highest. 1, I don't really want to achieve my goal. So basically, you've lost complete motivation in running the campaign. So what was the original goal? And that's the whole point of this tracking tool. What's the goal at that moment in time? You know, are you looking to, as a GM, run a long-term campaign? And you're scoring yourself in those 4 key pillars to decide whether you've got the necessary tools to make it happen. And if you don't, maybe it's the fact you've got the skills, got the knowledge, got the confidence, but it's the motivation. You just don't have all of the... And it gives you a great way of thinking, well, why? Then I've scored myself low, so what is it that's stopping me? We're going to examine that in more detail in other videos, but I'm giving you the taster. This is the first step, if you will, into it. And that's the same for each of the core pillars. You'll measure yourself. And you can see that, as I said, it's measurable for what you're doing at that time, what the goal is. It can be measurable in a particular system. I think it's got a lot of uses. Very simple tool. Brilliant tool. Same for players. But there are 2 following up points which I'll quickly cover now, which are as follows. Once you've scored yourself, obviously you'll have, one would hope, 2 areas of relatively, you'll have some sort of higher mark in 2 key areas. So what are your personal strengths? You've rated yourself in 2 areas of strength. What are they? Thinking about them and why you've rated yourself in those areas. So that, again, helps you hone down very quickly and clinically why you're doing something well. And equally, thank you. And equally, you can then take your 2 areas where you're struggling, or an area that you're struggling in. I've used 2 areas just within the tool, but you hone it how you want. And you can again assess what it is, or what you think it is, the problem. You may not know the answer, but at least you know what the problem is. There's an old saying, is there? A problem shared is a problem halved. And that's the point, because now you're armed with the information to go out and do the research, or ask the questions to other more GMs or players that you trust about trying to improve your craft. How do I do it? How do I get these skills that you have? What do I do? So that's why I think this is an incredibly useful tool. Very versatile, very simple to use, very quick. And a folder could be a lifetime's worth of work, which is great. So you can see it doesn't really take up any space whatsoever. So really, really useful thing. And that is tracking your progress. We're going to follow this up in the near future with a couple of other videos that go alongside this little mini series of ideas. And one of them is about courage. And I'm going to talk about courage, taking a step, because I know a lot of you out there would like to do a YouTube channel and haven't got round to taking up the camera and having a go. I'm going to hopefully give you the courage to attempt that. Equally, you might want to GM and haven't had the courage to go out and do that. Again, I'm going to try and give you that nudge and the understanding of how to go about doing it and so forth. And then another thing we're going to look at is we've done it before, but we've never looked at it this way. We're going to look at strengths and weaknesses from a role play perspective, and we're going to look at that in a bit of detail, and we'll come on to other things as well in due course. Anyway, short video, bit of fun, hopefully of use to you. I've been Sean Connors. This has been Outsiders. This week talking all about tracking your progress, and I hope you can see how versatile a tool it can be. Anyway, all that leaves me to do is say thank you for watching, take care of yourselves, and as always, thank you for the feedback. See you soon. Bye-bye.